Hello, my name is Nestor, and today I wanted to talk to you about the variable naming and function naming and why it's so important to build high quality code. So hopefully you can learn something with this video, and it will help you improve your level of coding. So I can think of variables like boxes, and the label of the box is the variable name. And I can think of functions like machines that take something in and can give something out, and the function name is the label on the machine. This is very important because they are going to tell me, the labels or the names are going to tell me exactly what the boxes contain and what the machines do. So why should I care? Why should I care about good naming? The first reason is readability. It's going to be much easier to understand my own code and others if there's proper naming. Secondly is the long term. How many times has it happened that we leave a project for a while and then when we come back, we do not understand anything? And it's the whole process again to try to understand what I wrote back then. I have to go into functions, I have to go to variables, I have to see, oh, okay, I see what I was trying to do here. So if I have good naming, I don't have to do that. The functions tell me what they are doing and the variables are really understandable. And lastly is easy to maintain. I can change something really easily if there's proper naming. If there's a bug, new feature, I can go and find my way and implement something much quicker. In this example, I don't have to tell you anything. The variable name and the function name already tells you exactly what you should expect. And this becomes even more apparent if I have a big mesh and a big maze of these functions and variables interacting with each other. If I don't have good naming at all, like in the example, I don't know where to find my way. But if I have proper naming and there's a bug, I can immediately find the function where this is going wrong, fix it, and get it done. So what involves proper naming? Proper naming needs to be precise, and it needs to tell me exactly what the variable or function is doing or it contains. In the example of the variable here, I have a box that says countries in Europe. I immediately know what I'm going to find inside. And with the function, I have get current week, and I know that I'm going to get the current week that we're in right now. So it's very important that we name our functions and variables as precisely as possible. So now let's take a look at the more specific example, very easy. I have one variable that is a list, and it contains cookie flavors, and it says dark chocolate, white chocolate, strawberry, and so on. And I have, I then create a loop and I cycle through each of the items, and I print I love whatever that flavor is. So if we run the code, it says I love dark chocolate, white chocolate, and strawberry. Variable naming doesn't change anything at all, right? I can name variable A however, and it's going to still work. I can name it X, I can name it strawberry, I can name it, it doesn't really matter, but the code still works. The thing here is for our understanding and readability, we should think of a better naming. So instead of naming it A, we can think of a better naming such a flavors. This still is still not precise because it's not just flavors. We're referring to cookie flavors, and we're referring specifically to the available cookie flavors. So we have to be very specific, think of what we're describing, and then write available cookie flavors. And the variable that we're iterating over, this variable B, is one of those cookie flavors, right? So we can rename it with cookie flavor in singular. So this would be a much better naming, and when I go back to this function and this code, I am going to understand it much better. If I run the code, works exactly the same, but it's so much easier to understand. So to wrap it up, naming is very important. So when you're naming your variables, take a step back, think for like 3 or 5 seconds, what does this function do? What does this variable contain? And give it the appropriate naming to your function or variable. I hope you learned something new today. Yeah, give me feedback if you have any, and see you on the next video.